Oui, non, mais je pense qu'on le dit de plusieurs semaines. Le vibe est le fun. Je pense qu'on essaie d'avoir du plaisir. Puis je pense que c'est ça qui est arrivé aujourd'hui. Je pense qu'on a eu du plaisir sur la patinoire. Puis ça se transmet dans les games.
Est-ce que vous voyez le prochain match? J'imagine que oui, votre objectif, ça doit être on est capable de rattraper les Sénateurs.
Oui, mais je pense que pour nous en ce moment, chaque match, c'est le plus important. L'important, c'est d'acheter la victoire, de s'assurer d'une place en série. Puis après ça, on continue d'essayer de les rattraper si on est capable. Puis on va voir à la fin du calendrier si on est capable. Mais je pense que pour l'instant, si on focus juste sur le prochain match, aller chercher 2 points.
Hormis toi et quelques autres, il n'y avait pas beaucoup de gars qui avaient de l'expérience de play-off. Là, vous en avez pratiquement joué des play-offs. Quelle évaluation tu fais sur la gestion que vos jeunes coéquipiers ont fait de toute la situation et qu'ils font encore?
Je pense qu'on a pris beaucoup de maturité cette année. Je pense que dans le passé, souvent les matchs qu'on jouait un petit peu moins bien, on les laissait glisser beaucoup. Je pense qu'on est capable justement de faire des corrections pendant le match puis d'aller rechercher des points qui sont extrêmement importants. Puis comme tu dis, c'est pas mal les matchs de série en ce moment. Chaque point est important pour nous. Je pense que ça fait juste nous donner plus d'expérience puis arriver en confiance en série. Mais faut juste. Je pense qu'on n'est pas encore rendu. Il nous reste encore des victoires à aller chercher. Puis c'est ça notre focus en ce moment.
On entend souvent le terme famille lorsqu'on parle aux joueurs de ce vestiaire-là. Quelle importance tu accordes au rôle de Martin Saint-Louis dans l'esprit de famille qu'il y a dans ce vestiaire-là? Souvent, les gars disent on dirait qu'il fait partie du groupe.
Oui, non, mais je pense qu'il comprend un peu le vibe qui est le fun aussi dans un dressing room. Il a été longtemps un joueur, puis je pense que justement, c'est ce qu'il apporte. Je pense qu'il apporte ce côté-là, d'être friendly avec lui aussi. Là. Je pense tu peux avoir une vraie conversation puis avoir du plaisir sur la patinoire. Il aime ça aussi, joke around. C'est sûr qu'il y a un côté plus sérieux aussi, des fois, le côté business, mais ça fait partie, effectivement. Puis, non, je pense que...
I guess.
Is there one big lesson you've learned since the start of the season that you used to adjust your game a little bit or change it in any way?
Not like one, just lots of little lessons that I think I'm starting to figure out. But, I think the biggest thing in this league is the mental sharpness and being ready to go every night. It's just huge. Hey.
Ivan Demidov repeat all season long that he looks at your game and was very impressed about the way you play. Is it the same case for you? And how do you see yourself playing with him in the next coming years?
Yeah, I think I've seen tons of his highlights all the time. So he's a pretty special player for sure, and it looks like he could play anywhere in the lineup and help a team. So it's special to see, and I'm excited to see what he can do, and see what I can do with him too.
What's impressed you the most about his game? Because I know as a hockey lover that you analyze a lot the game. So.
You see all the tools he has: his skating, his shot, his IQ. There's not much to dislike in his game, so I think he's going to fit in just fine, and it's going to be fun.
What could be your role as a young player who just know about arriving in the NHL and knowing how can this league work? So what could be your role with him when he arrives?
Just kind of tell him what I went through and explain that it's not always going to be easy, and share what I've learned in my time here, and then obviously let him know that any of these older guys are always happy to help. So just kind of be as helpful as I can.
Are you already reached out to him?
Yeah, I texted him 2 days ago or a day ago.
So did you write him if it's not so?
I just told him we're excited that he's coming and see him soon.
Thank you.
Last year,
So that's one thing we definitely need to clean up. Hopefully, going into the playoffs, we can't be starting like the way we've been starting the last couple of games because you just can't win that way in the long run. So that's what we gotta figure out.
How big of a role do you think the second line is going to have to take going forward here?
What?
How big of a role do you think the second line is going to have to take going forward?
Yeah, I mean, try to do what everybody else is doing. Just try to be reliable and obviously, produce. That's not going to hurt. Just kind of keep playing. Well, got to play better than we've been playing, but just be reliable when you're out there, and obviously try to score when you have a chance. But I think everybody in this room has a big role when these big games come, and just excited for this opportunity.
Patty, at this moment, what do you know about Ivan Demidov? How do you think your game can click with his game?
I know he's Russian and he's a lefty. Pretty much it. Don't watch the KHL too much anymore. But yeah, I mean, it seems like he's obviously super skilled, and but it's also hard to tell because it's a whole different league, bigger rink, more time. But I think he's smart players. I think they can always adjust to the smaller rink, and I don't know where's he going to fit in. If he's playing with us, great. Try to help him out as much as we can. But that'll be exciting for us to get a prospect and a player like that to help us out, and hopefully it'll work out, and he'll be good right off the start.
As far as chemistry, can you just add somebody new like that at the end of the year and find something with somebody new like that?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, that's what people do at the deadline all the time. And, I've had good experiences with that. Adding somebody on the deadline in the same line, and then it just starts working. So you never know until you try it. And it'll be exciting to obviously have him here, and people are excited to see him play, and so are we as a team.
inside the room.
I'm pretty happy. The way I got back from the Sweden, I think I've been able to do there my things, and of course there's lots to improve, but otherwise I've been happy. Yeah.
Do you see a difference in your own comfort level, knowing now what you experienced early in the year and now that you come back? Do you see a difference?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, now was a lot easier to come back on the team, and of course you know the league, how it's everything working here, so more comfortable to come in, and yeah, it's a big change to come to the bigger rink to the smaller rink, but I'm getting used to it, and everything been nice.
You look as a pretty calm person, am I right?
Yeah, somebody can say like that.
Yeah. Is it help you to deal with the situation coming from Sweden and have to establish your game at this level, but at the end of the season in the playoff race, does it help you to do that?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just being who I am, and of course I want to bring the thing on the team by myself. But of course it's just living my dream right now, and day by day, like seeing what's going on, and focus on the next day. Basically, I think I don't want to think too far or behind me. I'm just trying to live the moment.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks for your time.
En arrière.
Bonjour tout le monde.
Salut. What do you see in Slav's game right now, and what can he do to access the highest end of his ability as you move forward here?
I think when he has his best is he plays with pace and moves his feet and allows him to bring physicality and to win pucks and disrupt. I would say that, I think like the rest of our team, You know, we've played a lot of games in a short amount of time, and I think some of that tends to dip a little bit in the players. And when he doesn't have that, he's not as efficient. But we're trying to do everything we can to make sure that, like I said before, I have gas in the tank. And you know, but that's when he's at his best.
What does your power play need to do to generate, not just score, but generate more chances?
Yeah, I think we got to play a little quicker off the puck, with the puck and off the puck. You know, I don't think we're a little too slow, and therefore the other teams recover all the time. They're able to recover back in their structure. I think we just got to play a little quicker.
Le terme Watinex est revenu souvent au cours des derniers jours. Mais tu sais, le concept Watinex est important partout, spécifiquement aussi en territoire défensif par rapport au type de système que vous utilisez. Comment tu évaluerais la progression justement de votre système défensif au fil de la saison jusqu'à aujourd'hui?
Oui, c'est sûr. Il y a une progression dans ce département-là. Puis c'est toutes ces actions que tu accumules. Tu sais, des fois, tu es loin de la rondelle, mais faut que tu fasses ta job, même si tu es loin de la rondelle. Faut pas que tu sois juste focusé où est-ce que la rondelle allait. Faut que tu comprennes où est-ce qu'elle est. Faut que tu saches que ton gars y est. Mais le jeu défensif aussi, il passe souvent 200 pieds de ton net. Puis si tu es F1, c'est quoi ta job sur le forecheck, F2, F3, défenseur et tout. Il y a beaucoup d'actions qui sont importantes pour nous autres pour récupérer une rondelle, que ce soit dans notre zone ou 200 pieds de notre net. Quand on n'a pas la rondelle, on se défend. Fait que je trouve que notre game collective à 5 nous aide beaucoup à se défendre mieux. C'est beaucoup de ces actions-là, what's next, même si tu es loin de la rondelle.
David Savard, ce matin, disait on sent que Martin fait partie de l'équipe. Puis c'est quelque chose qui est revenu souvent au fil de la saison. Tu as choisi cette approche-là en tant que coach. Pourquoi? Qu'est-ce qui t'a donné envie d'être ce type de coach-là dans une ligue où il y a 32 façons d'être entraîneur?
Je sais pas s'il y a 32 façons d'être entraîneur, mais c'est sûr que tu as 32 différentes personnalités, approches. Mais moi, j'ai toujours essayé d'être moi-même. J'essaie pas de copier personne. Je prends des affaires, c'est sûr, là, mais moi, j'ai jamais aimé être dans un environnement que c'était les coachs, puis c'était les joueurs. Puis c'était pas ensemble. Je trouve que les moments où j'ai eu le plus de succès en équipe, j'ai senti qu'on était ensemble comme entraîneur et joueur. Puis c'était pas toujours des caresses, puis c'était pas juste ça. Tu avais des moments plus tough, plus directs avec les entraîneurs, mais en général, c'était un esprit, on était ensemble. Puis les entraîneurs, ils essaient toujours de te faire atteindre un autre niveau. Puis, c'est une approche que moi, je pense qu'elle est importante, qu'on est tous ensemble.
Hey Martin, as-tu des nouvelles concernant des Midov en termes de...
Moi, je pense qu'il est en transit. Il cherche ses documents. Là. Je sais pas quand on va le voir, mais je pense qu'on va le voir.
Okay. Comment tu vois... Éventuellement. Comment tu... Tu sais, c'est un gars qui va arriver d'une autre ligue. Évidemment, il va devoir s'acclimater. Est-ce que c'est réaliste de penser que tu peux le rentrer dans la line-up puis que ça va rouler ou bien non, il va y avoir vraiment beaucoup d'enseignements à faire parce que tu n'auras pas beaucoup de temps non plus? Là.
Je sais pas. Honnêtement, je me concentre pour gagner un match demain. Essayer de clincher un playoff spot. C'est avec ça que je me concentre. Je me concentre pas sur n'importe d'autre chose que ça.
Tu as déjà vu une situation quand tu jouais, toi, où un joueur est arrivé et tu es capable de le rentrer dans la line-up demain?
Ben, dans mon temps, ça n'arrivait pas, ces affaires-là.
Patrik et Martin.
Salut Martin. Dans les dernières semaines, ça a été plus difficile pour vous de sortir d'une première période avec l'avance. Est-ce que pour toi, c'est quelque chose sur quoi tu mets le focus ou est-ce qu'au contraire, tu veux surtout que ton équipe soit dans le match et que peu importe le pointage, ça ne soit pas trop dramatique comme départ?
Oui, on est chanceux de garder ces petits écarts-là avec les premières périodes qu'on joue. Moi, je trouve que c'est comment qu'on gère la rondelle de bonheur. Parce que si tu gères la rondelle de bonheur, tu vas être capable de gérer la game. Puis là, on gère la game beaucoup plus tard à cause de ça, parce qu'on ne gère pas la rondelle en première. Mais on est capable, à cause qu'on garde un petit écart pareil, on est capable, on se corrige. Je te dirais qu'à la game de Nashville, on ne s'est pas corrigé beaucoup. Là. On s'est défendu, par exemple. Mais la game de Détroit, là, on s'est corrigé après la première. Puis on s'est ressemblé beaucoup plus, là, comment on est capable de jouer. Puis on est allé chercher des gros buts. Puis là, on était capable de gérer le match après ça. Fait que c'est un peu... écoute, les équipes... Les trois sont sortis très fort. Il y en a beaucoup de vitesse, beaucoup de pression. Puis je trouve qu'on était trop cute à essayer de... Au lieu de nous autres envoyer des pucks plus profondes. C'est dur à aller tape-to-tape contre la pression parce qu'il n'y a pas d'espace. Il y a toujours des bâtons dans le chemin. Fait que es-tu capable de bypasser cette pression-là? Puis là, tu amènes ton forecheck, tu amènes ta pression. Mais c'est pas aussi le fun à jouer parce que tu n'es pas en possession. Mais si tu comprends que ça va te donner de la possession, peut-être dans 2, 3, tu leur donnes la puck puis ils vont t'en redonner à cause de ton forecheck. Fait que c'est une partie que, on est fort là-dessus. Mais des fois, on essaie d'être trop cute un petit peu, puis ça arrive, c'est normal, mais on est capable de se corriger. Puis c'est quelque chose qu'on va parler aujourd'hui, puis qu'on va essayer de corriger ça.
Il va y avoir 2 matchs en 2 soirs qui s'annoncent quand même émotifs. Là. Ottawa, Toronto, c'est toujours des matchs qui sont émotifs. Est-ce que tu as senti une progression dans cette gestion-là? Tu trouves que sur la glace, vous gérez mieux la pression du jeu, mais la pression de l'émotion aussi, est-ce qu'il y a de l'amélioration dans ton groupe là-dessus?
Oui, je pense que oui. Je pense qu'on joue sa ligne. Je pense qu'on prend pas beaucoup on se tire pas dans le pied avec des mauvaises punitions, juste parce qu'on est émotionnel. Je trouve qu'il y a une belle maturité là-dessus, puis c'est important, surtout à ce temps-ci de l'année, puis surtout si on est capable de se trouver un poste en série. Dans série, c'est important d'être sur la ligne, mais faire attention.
Merci, Warner. C'est quoi, Martin, d'aller jouer 2 gros matchs contre 2 gros rivaux, mais là, vous êtes là. Il y a 2 mois, là, on aurait regardé et on aurait dit, ces 2 matchs-là,
les
Canadiens.
On est là?
Vous êtes là.
Où ça, là?
Vous êtes dans le portrait des séries. Okay. Vous n'êtes pas en série encore.
Ouais.
Mais il y a 2 mois, là, ça aurait été 2 matchs, on aurait dit, le Canadien est bâti pour l'an prochain. Les deux rivaux du Canadien, eux autres, ils se préparent pour les séries.
Mais tu sais,
c'est quoi la différence dans vos têtes d'aller là en fin de semaine? Dans le contexte actuel.
Si tu regardes le premier game qu'on a joué quand on est revenu des 4 nations, c'était à Ottawa. OK? Je pense qu'on était 6 points en arrière d'une place en série. On savait qu'on avait une grosse bouchée là, à prendre pour être là. Fait que, dans la vie, si tu abandonnes, tu garantis une chose, c'est que tu n'auras pas ce que tu veux. Mais si tu continues à pousser, tu ne garantis pas que tu vas l'avoir, mais tu te donnes une chance. C'est ça qu'on a fait. OK? Fait que moi, je suis fier du groupe qu'on est rendu où ce qu'on est aujourd'hui, puis on n'a rien accompli encore. Mais je trouve qu'on est dans ce mode-là. Je sais, tu dis qu'on est là, mais on est dans ce mode-là, ça fait longtemps. Fait que... puis ça, c'est pas facile pour les joueurs de... comme je l'ai dit, je trouve qu'on squeeze tellement de jus, là, tous les joueurs, puis... mais c'est le fun de voir tout ce qu'on est. Puis c'est le fun de la mentalité qu'on a pris. Puis de se donner une chance. Puis on va essayer de finir la job.
En fin de semaine, l'utilisation de tes gardiens, comment tu vois ça, vu les circonstances?
Il me semble qu'on va jouer demain.
Correct me if I'm wrong, I don't know, maybe it's the first time I noticed, but it seemed like last game, on the power play, on the entries, you moved Slav up to the blue line on the boards there.
You've missed it. It's been like that for a few games.
A few. Well, there you go. So there. So it leads kind of to the other question. I mean, I think there's been occasions where Patty was that outlet guy, didn't work out too well. His puck management has been sort of a thing, I guess, for you throughout the season. Where are you with that? And where is his level of understanding? What you just mentioned is an issue in the first period. It seems like a constant thing that needs to be worked on. And is it getting better in your mind?
I think the intentions are better, for sure, with Patty. I think he's more committed to that part of the game. Now, does he get tempted sometime? Yes, he does, But overall, I feel his intentions are in a better place. not on the PP breakout. It's just the slight adjustments that we wanted to make and see if they could help us, and I feel like it did.
Slight adjustments. Slav has to go clear across. It takes him a while to get set up where he's normally set up, right? He's like clear across the
Well, not really. Not when you depends, right? If we kick it out to him and he's flat-footed, it's a long way. But if he comes with speed and we chip a puck in the corner, he's not that far from his spot, So all that stuff is.
More convenient if Patty were there because
Yes and no, but Slav's a lefty there, so it's easier for Susie. Like Patty doesn't get handcuffed, Slav doesn't get handcuffed as much. You're going to gain something, you're going to give up something a little bit, And it's now we're trying to figure out is if what we're gaining is more than what maybe we're giving up in terms of the pros and cons of why you would have a lefty there versus a righty there, And we're figuring that part out.
Thanks. There's not an X in the standings next to Montreal yet, but it seems like a foregone conclusion. Certainly, we asked the players what would getting into the playoffs mean. What would it? How do you think you're going to react? What would it mean to you when you think how far you've come in this journey, and especially with this team since the Four Nations?
I think it would just prove everything I've been selling to the players, that when you quit, you guarantee that you're not going to get what you want. And when you keep pushing forward and give everything you got, you give yourself a chance. I would only prove that, Of course I'd be proud, How exactly I'm going to feel, I don't know. But whatever I feel is going to be real.
Correct me if I'm wrong, because I haven't checked the standings last night or anything, but you're 3 points behind Ottawa. You're playing Ottawa. Have you thought that far ahead that now you could...
Yeah, I'm well aware.
You could possibly not only make the playoffs, but you could catch Ottawa.
Yeah, I'm well aware that they're in front of us, and it's...
Making them important.
I think playing well down the stretch, clinching a playoff spot is important. If we able to jump Ottawa, great. But we're I think our focus is to keep going forward. I know there's teams behind us and stuff, but I think we're looking forward.
Take 3 more questions. One for Stu, one for Dave, and Mahatma. Marty, I was talking with Mike Matheson after the game the other night, and he said he thinks one of the things that helped Laine Hutson is the fact that you were willing to let him play his game from the start of the season without fear of making mistakes and then learn from them. What was your message, Laine, starting the season when it comes to that, about letting him play his game? I guess I mean the concepts that you want to play.
I think early on he showed me enough how competitive he was on both sides of the puck. You got to be careful in overcoaching these players because they're so dynamic. They can change the game quick. For me, as in the early stage with Laine, it's just make him understand that it's not a one-on-one game, but there's going to be one-on-one moments, and also that he has to manage his risk. So to me, I feel he's improved tremendously. And Laine doesn't take. If you talk to Laine about anything, it doesn't take long for him to recognize it, apply whatever you want. It's instant, So, and for Laine, it was such an early stage with him that I can't coach everything because I don't know yet if it's a trend or a one-off. So I feel the young players know that they're going to have some breathing room so I can actually figure out what are his tendencies or not. And I felt early in the season there was time where he wasn't managing his risk as the way he should, but totally understanding with a young player with that. He's never had to manage his risk his whole life probably, right? But at this level, you can get exposed when you take too much risk, and not just yourself, but you expose a team. So I think he's improved tremendously in that department. I'm not worried.
Did the fear of making mistakes hold you back a bit when you were rookie?
I think it was a different time. I came in like my first game in Tampa, I played a minute 50. I was scared of making mistakes. I don't think I made any in the minute 50, but it was a different it's a different story. I came in the league in a totally different role than Laine. I think when you're a high prospect like that, you probably have a bigger runway, longer leash. I didn't have that, but and I think the coaching was much different then. But later on in my career, I wasn't afraid to make mistakes.
Martin, Brendan Gallagher has been a very important part of this team for a lot of years. You've seen him from your days arriving here as coach. What does he bring to this room, both in pragmatic terms and maybe in more of an abstract fashion, just his presence and so on? What does Brendan bring to your team?
Well, I think he pulls the group, into the fight every night. What you're going to get from Gally is he's going to empty the tank every night. He's going to give you everything he has, and you know exactly where he's going to be. He's going to be around the net. He's going to win battles in the corners. I'm so happy for the kind of season he's had this year. I think when I took the job, he was running into some injury issues. He couldn't really always like he was swimming against current, and I feel like he's been healthy now for a while, and in his game this year has been very consistent. And Gally finds his whole career he's found ways to score, and I think a healthy Gallagher can still score in this league, and he's showing that this year.
What kind of impact does he have with some of the young guys in the room, some of the young kids?
Yeah. No, I feel like, and I've said it the other day, like our veteran guys have really embraced this youth movement and rebuild, made the guys feel welcome, let them be themselves. They're all different characters, and you need that. You don't want to have a cookie cutter. You got to be this way, this way, this way. No. Everybody's got their own personality, and they're able to come to work in this in this environment. And I think these older guys create that environment. And I think I'm so happy for now these older guys that they had nothing to gain for me doing a rebuild, and now I feel like the young guys bought into taking care of the team mentality. That's kind of paying forward to the older guys now. That's as you get older, you want to be in this situation, you want to win, because that's what usually extends your career. So it's been a fun process to be a part of and to see firsthand, and those Gallagher kind of player, the guys we have on our team have been a big part of our success.